It's gonna be good, it's gonna be great, it's gonna be better, I can't wait. Making my move, live for the day, sing like a bird, fly like a plane. Come spill with me, Jenny D. Jenny D. Jenny D.
Hello, my beautiful people. Thank you for joining me with another episode of Spill With Me, Jenny D podcast. Today's podcast is brought to you by Clair Health. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We can't stress that enough. And thank you to Clair Health for really bringing these stories and these doctors and patients to really bring it to life. A time to remember, like, the importance of regular screening, early detection, and support throughout your treatment. So today I'm joined by Tess Hrezo, a breast cancer survivor and Clair Health team member who not only faced her diagnosis with remarkable courage, but also turned her experience into action. Her story is one of compassion, advocacy, and the kind of care that goes far beyond medicine. Thank you for being here today, Tess.
Thanks for having me.
So, and thank you for sharing your story with us. I really feel that, the more you talk about it and just bring it to life, more people can relate to you and your journey. Can you take us back to the beginning? How did you first discover that something wasn't right?
So 2002 was a year of a lot of change and a lot going on in my life. My husband and I had gotten engaged earlier in that year. We were planning a wedding for fall of that year. And in the midst of that, I was getting the hang of 2 part-time jobs here at Clair Health and at Children's Hospital.
Oh, wow.
I'd always been on time with my mammograms, but this particular year, because I had changed jobs, I was waiting for my insurance to kick in.
Oh, wow.
So I waited until that kicked in and then made appointments for a mammogram and to see a new gynecologist and all that kind of stuff. But prior to that appointment happening around April of 2022, I did notice a lump. I didn't think anything of it.
Right. Where did you notice the lump?
So it is on my left breast, just to the left of my sternum.
Because I think, a lot of times, even for me, when I try to do self-exams, it's hard to tell. I'm like, oh, what is this? Is this just, and I especially have extreme dense breasts.
Yes.
So when you were saying, Tess, you didn't have like a mammogram for like a year?
It was a little over a year.
Okay.
Because before that, had been consistent.
But you were consistent. Mm-hmm. Okay. So tell us, like, what went through your mind when we first heard those words? But go back to when you were saying about what happened. It was in April 2022.
I decided I should probably speed up getting a mammogram. So again, I had only worked at St. Clair for about 8-9 months. So I went to where I was used to. I went to Woman Care at McGee, and they were able to get me in within a few days when I called. I went to Passivant. I took a half day from here, drove up to Passivant, and I told them that I was due for my yearly mammogram, but I had also noticed something different. So they did a mammogram, did an ultrasound, and at that point, they did find what they called irregular margins. And it wasn't really explained to me.
Yes, I know. What does that mean?
The radiologist said that, and I said, what does that mean?
Right.
And he said, some type of breast cancer.
Oh,
and he walked out of the room.
Yeah.
So
thank you.
Thankfully, the radiology technicians were very kind, and they said, what questions do you have? We're going to be scheduling you for a breast biopsy. And they were able to get me in within 3 days.
Right. For that, finding that and then getting the diagnosis. What was like those first few days or weeks like as you began to process your diagnosis and prepare for your treatment? I mean, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I was planning a wedding, so that was
right. So
I told everybody. Yeah. I told everybody in the radiology in the room, I'm planning a wedding. Like, what's going to happen. And no one
Right.
really knew. The second radiologist I met after the biopsy, she was very kind. She said to me, get this taken care of and go ahead and get married. She's like, you're going to be able to do this.
Right.
So I had in my head, because I'm a therapist and I've been around people with breast cancer, I was like, all right, I'm going to have surgery and then I can get married.
Right.
That's what I expected. They
When-
would tell
so-
me, because it was early stage breast
Right.
cancer.
You caught it early, right?
Mhm.
So April 2022, and then when were you going to get married?
October of
Okay, so
2022.
that was like 6 months.
Mhm.
Okay, so just knowing that, and you talked to your fiance and stuff, and you were like, "We're still doing this. We're not letting anything."
It was a little touch and go at first. He
Yeah.
really wanted to postpone it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
Because I was reading and I saw another YouTube video that Tess was on, and she had to save the dates out.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you shared that you underwent chemotherapy.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah. Tell us a little bit about the treatment plan that they gave you, and what was that experience like for you, both physically and emotionally?
So when I did meet my breast surgeon, it's Dr. Amelia Diego. She's at McGee, and what she told me was, okay, you're going to have what we call an immunotherapy cocktail.
Oh,
So I was like, oh, okay, I can do this.
You're like-
That
sounds kind of nice.
yeah. And then she started to explain what it was. There are 2 chemo drugs and 2 drugs that attack the HER2, which is
Oh.
HER2 positive.
Okay. So she recommended that. So you went through
Yes.
chemotherapy.
Yes. So
How
as soon
long was
as so my chemotherapy was 6 sessions.
Okay.
It was over the course of 18 weeks. So every 3 weeks I went in for chemotherapy. And when she told me that's what the treatment plan was going to be, the first thing out of my mouth was, I'm getting married. I need to save my hair.
Oh, right. Yes.
And she was the first to tell me about cold cap therapy, that they had been doing it at McGee, and she had seen success with it.
I was going to say, how long has that been around? Because I have never. Really
I've read different things. I think maybe the 70s, 80s.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, no.
It was pretty popular in the UK
Oh,
before
really?
it came here to
Okay.
the US.
I feel like they always get it before we get here. Well, emotionally and physically, how are you feeling during those chemotherapies?
Well, getting that treatment plan was the most devastating thing I could have ever imagined.
I'm so sorry.
A few months before the wedding. It was pretty emotional. Like I mentioned, Joe, my husband, he, at that point when we knew I was going to have chemo, he wanted to postpone the wedding. He's like, I want you to feel good. And I was kind of more on we're in our 50s. We've been waiting for this. I think we should go through it with it. And I was back and forth with the cold cap therapy. I met Dr. Reyes. He's my oncologist here at St. Clair. And when I told him I wanted to do that, he did give me the side effects that would occur with chemo.
What are those? Yeah.
Well, hair loss was number 1. Nausea. The other was swelling and loss of appetite. All those things just didn't sound pleasant at all.
Right.
And when I told him I wanted to try to save my hair, his first reaction was, "Nah, don't do it." He's like, he had not seen success with it.
Okay. So he was kind of telling you like, oh, maybe it might not work. So he doesn't want to take you down that road.
Yes. And then at the end of that appointment, I was like, I have to try to save my hair.
Yeah. So that's amazing to even hear like cold capping. So you were doing both. You were doing the chemo and you were doing the cold
Yes.
cap.
So cold cap therapy occurs during chemo.
Okay.
And the treatment, the technique that I did was portable. So it involved a lot of things. It involved 50 pounds of dry ice that we needed to pick up the night before chemotherapy. So, and the best thing out of all this was I had girlfriends that
Listen, I'm here,
I had girlfriends that came up with a schedule and a plan as soon as I knew what I was going to do. I haven't gotten emotional about that in a long
Well,
time.
you know what? Because you realize, having that team and having those people in your life, it really helps you go through something so
Yeah.
horrific,
So someone picked up ice the night before. We'd packed the cooler, which was a cooler that supposedly fits 60 cans of beer in it. So you can imagine how big the cooler was and how that looked walking into the cancer center.
Oh my gosh! So you picked it up because when I'm thinking like cold capping, I'm thinking like this caps on your head that has like ice in it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's not what I'm imagining.
It's so cold cap therapy is they're gel caps.
Okay.
More like glorified ice packs.
Okay.
Really, and we got 3 of them. And the technique that I had to follow was the caps had to be changed every 25 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yes. So, and it looks really like, I felt like Tron, if you knew that movie.
Yeah, something out of
That's
a
what
movie,
I felt
right.
like I looked like.
How did it
this
feel?
big helmet on.
You?
It was really cold.
It was cold. Yeah.
So cold cap therapy is minus 32 degrees.
Oh. How long did you have it on? Like, so you said 25 minutes.
Every 25 minutes. I wore it for 8 hours a day.
Oh, wow. For how many days?
Just the day of therapy.
Oh, just the day of therapy. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I was like, is this going to be all week?
No.
Okay.
So cold cap therapy occurs during chemo.
Okay.
And the purpose is to make the hair cells go dormant. So the hair cells basically go to sleep and it helps them to stay intact.
Oh my gosh. Whoever came up with that. So now with your experience, your personal experience with the therapy, did it meet your expectations?
Yes, I wasn't sure
Yeah.
how much hair I would save or what kind of effect it would really have on me. But I did get used to it. After an hour of sitting in the treatment chair, you just kind of forgot it was there. And my girlfriends came along to therapy.
Yeah.
My husband would start the day with me the first hour or 2, and then he'd go to work. So I'd have 2 girlfriends that sat with me, and they were responsible for getting the caps to temperature and changing the caps on my head.
What great friends you
have. It was kind of entertaining to watch the chaos happening in my treatment room.
Right. And that's what girlfriends are for. And for them to see what you're going through, that's why, we talk about early detection and mammograms and screenings is so important. And I'm sure they saw that and were like, So when you were going through this, your hair didn't fall out at all?
I did lose hair.
A little bit? Okay.
It's I think hair is very personal.
Yeah.
And for me, it was so important to save it. I did everything. This is the most humorous part of me going through this. I would walk out of here with an umbrella because I didn't want the sun to hit my hair because sweat helps induce some of that hair loss.
Oh, really?
So if I was out watching my nephew's baseball game or coming out of work or just being out in the community, I took an umbrella with me.
You know what? Hey, that worked. Right?
And if I did go for a walk, I'd put an ice pack on my head afterwards to kind of cool down.
I was going to say you were getting so used to it after a while, it just didn't even feel as cold as you were saying it is. You played an incredible role in advocating for the scalp cooling technology to become available for future breast cancer patients at St. Clair Hospital, affiliated with UPMC Hillman Cancer Center. What inspired you to take that step?
Shortly after I did treatment, I met another lady, a woman who she wanted to do cold cap therapy as well. She was on the fence about it, and one of the nurses I had at Dunlap at the cancer center, she gave my number to this woman, and we kind of banded together because we were both. There's not a whole lot out there on how to do self-care when you're going through the cold capping and the chemo at the same time. So I gave her a list of the things that I had used to help me go through treatment and to save my hair, to protect my hair, all those things. And we kept in touch, and she told me the things that was working for her. And we were both like, this really needs to be out there as part of a treatment plan for other women.
So So she, with her treatment too, it went well for her as well?
Yes, she
Okay.
had success as well. And I don't believe that this is for everyone.
Right.
You know, if you don't want to do it, I don't think you have to do it,
Right.
but it really, really had an impact on my mental health.
Right. And, you know, with your circumstance too, I mean, you were planning a wedding and, you know, it was really personal for you as well. And now you said you did 6 sessions. So those 6 sessions, that's what you did the cool therapy as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that was going on for once a week? Or was that?
I had chemotherapy every 3 weeks.
Every 3 weeks.
Mhm.
Okay. So this is going on for probably all the way up to your wedding day?
My last chemo was on September 16th, so it was exactly 4 weeks before my wedding.
Oh my gosh. I'll tell you what, you are a very strong woman to be going through that and to have everything else happening in your life, you know. What did it mean to you to see St. Clair Health respond so positively and work to make this therapy available to the breast cancer patients?
I was really excited when they finally decided to make it happen. I'm an occupational therapist, so by nature, I like to empower people to, to do what they can and to feel good about themselves. So it really meant a lot to see that it was finally going to.
Right, because they saw
to
your
be
success and what you went through and how it helped you. And, you know, there's probably so many other women that want to protect their hair, that want to go through this. So giving them the option
Mm-hmm.
is so nice.
It's huge.
Yes, it's huge. Because so they would, like at first, they wouldn't offer that therapy at first until.
Yeah, well, it was portable. So
Okay.
the cold cap therapy that I went through was portable. I had to get everything on my own
Okay.
and kind of figure things out on my own. I had amazing nurses who, to this day, I'm very grateful for having, because they did work with me to make sure that we communicated when chemo was going to start. The cold cap therapy had to start an hour before chemo was actually
okay. So you
infused.
had to be, everything had to be. It's like a family, and when you're with the nurses, probably wanted to see this happen too. They were watching as as it was going along. It was almost like you were the one that kind of like pioneered this, so other women know that this is a great option to have. I love that. Now, how does it feel knowing that your experience is now helping other patients? I mean, who are just beginning their breast cancer journey? I mean, how does that feel?
I really think it's important to have options.
Right.
Can you repeat that question?
Yeah, no, I mean, but because you had your experience and because you were so open with your experience with the cold cap, with you helping other breast cancer patients. I mean, how did that feel to be there, to be able to say to them, advocate for them, and say, listen, you can try this. I mean, you were the one. It was like you went through it, so when they see someone who's working in a hospital that went through something like that and everything worked out fine for them, it's just it. How did that feel for you?
It was a good feeling to know that cancer treatment doesn't have to be like a burden on your life. You can still have a life.
Right.
You can still do the things you want to do. And what I learned through this journey and just meeting other women is cancer can hit you at any time.
Right. Yes.
It can hit you through positive things, and your highest highs and your lowest lows.
Right. And that's what, is so great about like St. Clair Health is, you have a family here. You have such support team and everybody knows each other. So it's like they can talk to each other. You've made yourself available to the patients who learned about the cold capping. And why is it so important to you? I mean, I know that we kind of discussed this, but for you to go and tell other women about this, why was it so important for you?
Well, I could talk about cold capping and scalp cooling all the time.
Yes.
I've been really just intrigued by the whole thing. I had friends that went through cancer treatment and this was not available to them or offered to them. And I just thought it was such a unique treatment, something very innovative and something that could help people with their mental health.
Right. I feel the same way when you say mental
Mhm.
health, because losing your hair as women, there probably are some women out there that just feel like, wow, that was one of the worst parts about doing
Yes.
chemotherapy. But having the option,
I think it helps with self-esteem.
right,
I know for some women that I've talked to, maintaining your privacy, which is really important. Some women have smaller children and didn't really want to scare them.
oh, I understand. I can understand that as well. What kind of questions do patients usually ask you, and how do you help them feel more comfortable or confident about their decision?
The number one question I do get asked is, would I do it again?
Oh, yes, okay.
And I would say, yes, I would definitely do cold cap therapy again.
Right.
Um, it just it just really helped me keep moving. And, I was able to go through my wedding and with a couple hair pieces, but I had most of my hair. And my goal, my why was I didn't want to wear a wig.
Right.
I wanted to be as natural as I could be for my wedding, and it happened.
Yes, yes, I love that. What advice would you give to other women listening who might be facing a new diagnosis or supporting someone through breast cancer? What advice would you give?
I think about your why.
Yes, think about your why. I love that.
Mhm. And then envision that very thing every time you feel defeated or let down from breast cancer, because it's not easy. It definitely wasn't easy. I was fatigued a lot, so sometimes getting through the day was hard. I was lucky enough to be able to decrease my work hours here, which was really helpful as part of healing and just being able to get through the treatments with proper rest.
Right. Oh, yeah, the fatigue I heard is just really tired. My
Mhm.
cousin had triple negative, and I know she used to tell me that she would just sleep all the time. She was just
Yeah.
always so tired. How has working at St. Clair Health, an organization you trusted with your own care, shaped your perspective as both the patient and the employee? How has it shaped you?
It was definitely a little hard to disconnect and be the patient.
Right.
I know I'd be sitting in the infusion chair, and
Because everybody knows you, right?
I don't think back then, but
okay, yeah, that's right. You were still
I was still pretty
relatively
new here. But they would offer me a warm blanket, and I'd be like, "No, that's okay. I don't need
I
it."
know. They wanted to help.
Yeah, but I also have learned that being a patient, you really need to be your own self advocate.
True.
Without that self advocacy, I think you won't get the care that I mean, you will get the care you want, but it can go beyond that. I think the more questions
Right.
you know to ask, I think the the better the treatment is.
Right, because everybody
Outcome
probably has a different
wise.
experience with it and what they're doing and how they are feeling. Some people might say, "Oh, I wasn't tired at all," or "Hey, I was, eating everything." Or some people, their appetite's gone. So everybody's journey is so different with
Yes,
breast
and
cancer.
that's so true.
Right.
And I do think good communication with your providers is really important as well. Because if they don't know you're not feeling well, or like I had weird acne
Yeah.
through treatment, and
Really? Oh, see, I didn't.
mhm.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and they were able to change the dose of some of the medications, which really helped.
Okay. Yeah, that's. I
So,
was going to say that because you know, I just thank St. Clair Health and for you to even share your story, because I know there may be someone out there that's thinking like, oh, I really don't want to lose my hair, or if future they know that this is out there, so that they have those options, especially here at St. Clair. I thank you so much for just showing us that hope and taking action, and taking when you go through an experience and kind of you're now telling other people like, hey, look, I've been through this. Let me tell you what I've gone through, and this is what I did. And it just makes it so much more real for people. You know. But it's such a positive reminder, that one person can make such a difference. If your loved one has questions about breast cancer, the experts at St. Clair Hospital Care Center or Cancer Center, affiliated with UPMC Hillman Cancer Center, they're here to help every step of the way. To learn more, call 412-942-1100 or visit stclairhealth.com. or stclair.org/cancer. And if you're a breast cancer patient interested in the scalp cooling therapy, you can contact directly with Tess through the Cancer Center to learn more. Is there anything else you would like to say to the listeners or viewers?
Yes, I would.
Yes.
So what I went through was cold cap therapy, and that was a portable version. What we've been lucky to get here at St. Clair is it's a medically approved device. It's approved by the FDA, and it's a machine that is less labor intensive than what I did.
Wow.
Patients will get their own cap, and that's all they have to come with. They don't have to come with a cooler full of 50 pounds of ice.
Yes. The advancement already, the
yes.
test, like that was in 2022.
Yes, and it was getting FDA approved. This scalp cooling was getting FDA approved at the end of 2022, which was
Wow.
right when I was finishing up treatment.
That's incredible. Yes, thank you so much. And so, yeah, I mean, any patients or anyone out there that, you want to learn about it, you want to call Tess, I so appreciate this. Thanks so much for listening to another episode of Spill with me, Jenny D. Take care.
Thank you.
Come spill with me. Come spill with me. Come spill.